Did I give any task yesterday? No. Day before yesterday task is there. What is that? Huh? Routing. Okay, all projects routing. Okay, that so many people already did yesterday. Okay. So I think yesterday we did movies, right? Yeah. Okay, I think someone did this. Home, about, movies. It's showing it all the movies. Let's go here. Comedy. Here, comedy. This is what we discussed actually, I think, yesterday. Someone put their particular box. Okay. So try these things. Okay. Only the problem is when this guy tried it. Okay. See, why it came earlier. Now, see, if we go to the movies, initially it's not printing anything. Initially, I wanted one category like animation. It can be initial category. Okay. So initially, nothing is happening it. Else, it would be actually good project. Now, comedy. Now, okay, comedy movies are coming. See more details and see. The image is not printing it. Title and all are not printing it. He has to check it out. But if I click on see more, IMDb is opening it. IMDb is also undefined. That means title did not came. For this particular one, title did not came. You know why? Because when I go into the movie, it should take that in the URL slash title. So he is not taking it. He did not write the dynamic routing. Okay, so that is the problem in his code. Else it would be perfect. Let's go here. Someone else codes. Someone did their portfolio one. I think you all can start doing your portfolio project. The deadline for your portfolio project is Saturday. Sir, a portfolio project may need a nice homepage. In homepage, you can have a slider. You can put nice about section, a project structure which a grid structure. I think yesterday I showed you portfolio projects, right? You can try it till Saturday. Okay. But impress me with your portfolio. It has to be so good. Make it as creative as possible. Okay. And I think you already know routing. Okay. And you can explore it. See, this guy did it. It's a basic one. He didn't do much, but basic one he did. He can try it more better. Resume, it's printing it. Contact. So it can be more better actually. Okay. Try to see the portfolio websites. Okay. See how many portfolios you can. Okay. If you type it in internet, React portfolio websites, you will get thousands. So you can just go to here, see React portfolio. Oh, no. Something. I think this one we have seen it yesterday. Okay, let's go to Enmanto. See, there is one thing called theme forest. Everyone focus here. I don't know how many of you know or not. Enmanto is the greatest marketplace in the world. That means this is where the developers will place their particular projects and you can sell them. Like Code Canyon will back up this Envanto. If I go to the theme forest here, see, some person did this project and they are selling it for 24 rupees, $24. Okay, see this. Sir, it will take some time for you to do one simple project, a React one. How much time? Doing a complete portfolio project with 12 or 20 pages, imagine maximum 20 pages. And it will take it for you a week, right? If you work for a week, you will get na. And then after a week, publish into this particular website and make it some $20 or $29 or $39. So $29, you know how much in Indian currency? It's almost, I think, 2500, right? It's 2500 or greater than that. So if one sale happened, you will get 2500. See, this one got sold by 149 sales. It's up to you. See, for example, first one got 3.3k sales. That means 3,300 people bought it. And if each one bought it for 29 rupees, 29 into 3.3 thousand, right? Which is not a small thing, isn't it? If at least, imagine if at least 100 people bought it, $24, 100 people bought it, how much it would be? If 100 people bought your project, $24 each one, how much it would be? 2400, which is more than a lakh. I'm 100% sure it's like 1,50,000 something, right? And it won't happen in one day. My point is, you all will do the projects, do it, but only the rule is you should not copy someone's code. Make it creative, do one project and sell. You just put it like 100, you just put it like 10 of the items, some HTML elements, some React templates. You just put it in your marketplace and leave it. If it sell, you will get the money. If it not sell, you will not get the money. Simple. Who knows, right? You got my point, ma? Online, is it clear? At least try. Some people try it, ma. Okay. It's not a bad thing. See, for example, I will open this. It's like someone's did this, and if I open it, and they are gonna show you a simple domain. Why I'm opening this website is, see this website and see here they did it so many, not one, two. Okay, this many sites they did, and you can check it anyone and take an inspiration from it. Take an inspiration. Now, for example, this site I'm taking. I want to do this site. Okay. Now see here, what is this site containing? A nice body language. It's having it. And see, it's a simple static one, right or not? This one you can do it, right? And this is a slider, I think. Each one is going on. Now again, if I go to service page, if I go to about page, and see child navigation, you can have multi navigation here. Okay, list navigation. You can do this kind of things. Okay, so like this, everything try it, and these things if you sell it, you will get it a nice amount, ma. I'm not saying it can be done it in immediately. Like today you will decide and tomorrow you will say, do something, and day after tomorrow it will sold out and you will get the money. Never. Rome was not built on one day. It will take time. But I'm saying it, you take your first steps now. Is it clear, sir? Huh? Okay. Now, you can take inspiration also from that particular websites. You can see some site and get an inspiration. Close all this. Now, next one. Okay. So till now, what we know, sir, in the main notes which I gave you, let me open it up. React.js. Oh, didn't I give you the complete notes? Where did I put it up? Okay, I will check with that. Now, hooks. Now, everyone focus here, ma. We are going to discuss something called hooks. Okay. In case, whatever the topics we discussed till now, if you got any doubts, those topics you can ask again one more time whenever we do the project, whenever we started to do it. If you feel anything not understanding in the previous times, that thing I will include in that project if you want it. Okay. So that way we can able to repeat it. Okay. And yesterday, what we did, I will just repeat it. Yesterday, we did something called movie API project. In this movie API project, I used something called Bootstrap. So you guys should know Bootstrap will use something called a grid column structure where one row will have 12 columns. Okay. If you write it something row, call 6, automatically it will have 50-50 structure. Okay. Now here, directly I used Bootstrap and main one. The main one is having something called, see, if you are using Bootstrap, you should write npm install Bootstrap and you should write it import Bootstrap, dist, CSS and all. Okay. After this, my whole project is inside the browser router so that I can use anything with the browser thing. Okay. Any router routing, I can use it throughout my program. It's like the same like context API where I have a context provider throughout my project. Now, after this, it went to something called app.jsx. In the app.jsx, I gave something routings eraser. Here, routes is an array where you will have whatever the element you are sending, that element will be printed inside this routes. Now, here I have two paths, route path slash nothing. When nothing is there, automatically it will go to movies element, or you can write it like component also. Component means just a name, element means you will write it like a JSX element. Now, path, if it is a path, is a movie slash colon ID. See this? Colon ID. That means ID is a dynamic value. Sir, if you write it here just ID, then what will happen? Slash colon slash ID. But if you write it here colon, what does that mean? Slash movie slash one, or slash movie slash two, or slash movie slash Raj. Anything. It may be number, may not be number, because we are not using any TypeScript. JavaScript don't check numbers. So anything slash movie some value, right? Dynamic value which will change it every time, that is called dynamic routing. What it is called? Dynamic routing. And now here, whenever dynamic routing happen, it will call something called movie, sir. It will call something called movie. Now I will go here pages. In the pages we will go to movies here. Now in the movies, what I used something called navigate. We know already state. What is use state? Use state will take it an initial value, and initial value is stored inside the movies, and automatically whenever you want to update, you will use something called set movies. You will use something called set movies. So sir, what is the function? What is the state will do? State will not only update the value, state will re-render the component. State will re-render the component. This is very interesting point. Okay. Now, after this, use effect will do only one time. Because React dot strict mode is there, it is doing it two times, but else it will be doing one time only. And I put it here empty braces. Empty braces means only one time. If you don't put empty braces, every time state updates, automatically it will be updated. Or if I put it any dependency here, every time a dependency value state changes, every time a state value changes for the dependency, automatically it will be updated. Is it clear, ma? Any doubts? Any doubts till now? No. Now here use effects. So use effect will give it, use effect will take it here, a particular callback function axios.get, and here I called one particular thing. Here I write it directly animation. You can put it in a select option, and whatever the result in the select option, you can take it and give it here. Okay. If someone selected input element, automatically whenever on select, change something and then give it there. I think you know how to do that, right? Okay. Try to put on input some set value. Okay. And whenever set value updated in the use effect, call that. Is it clear, ma? Okay. Now next one here. Then res method. Then whatever the responses I got, that responses dot data, I'm giving into set movies. Then movies are updated. Then go down, and I just printed the movies with a conditional rendering and a map and a map. Inside the map, each one is called a list. Now here, actually, if I go and see, I will get a warning that the list elements are not having any key. Okay, they need to be. Now anyway, here it is having it img h2, but interesting points are not that. Interesting points are this button. Whenever you are clicking on the button, you are using something called navigate. How did you create this navigate? Using use navigate. Using use navigate. Now here navigate, and I'm giving slash movie slash dollar movie dot imdb id. So one time slash movie something, another time slash movie another thing, right or not? Every time something will change. So every time wherever it changes, still it will go to same component. What is that movie component? Why? You gave it dynamic routing here. After movie, anything comes, it will go to movie only. That's what you told, right? Is it clear, ma, till now? Now, now one more thing which you need to learn. If I go to movies one, here in the movies, what you did is I want to already in the routing slash movie slash something value is there. You want to take that value what is in the URL. You want to take that value what is in the URL. How you will take that value, sir? To take that value, you can take it here using something called use params. Use params. If you use params, it will take the parameters, it will take the URL, whatever in the URL are there, those values you will come. And the value is ID here. And that ID, I just destructured it, and everywhere I want, I can use that ID. Okay. Navigate here, no use. And then I just using that ID, I just called in another another API, and I just printed its details, and I just whenever someone clicks on button, then I just made it window.location.href. That means whole URL I'm changing it. Any doubts, ma? Any doubts, sir? No. But try to include more and more. Try to include child routings. Now, uh, you can have exploration more and more, ma. There is so many other things also. For example, you have one page. Imagine I am inside the home page. Here inside the home page, two buttons are there. If I click on one button, only down some text will change. But if I click on this button, again another text will come. Where only in this page, but both are in home page only. Inside the one page only, again another routing. That is called child routing. Try it. Okay. Or nested links. Like for example, just now you have seen portfolio pages. Whenever you go to one thing here, you can see it here like this. And if you go here, a list of again menu will come, nested menu, or people will call it mega menu. Do that kind of thing. Is it clear, ma? Any doubts? No. Try to put it more and more design and bring it the answers. Now, but window.location.href refreshing the all page. Yes, it will refresh the page. Okay. Because I'm loading into another page. Sir, when you are in the same website, for example, see, I only coded movies page, I only coded movie page. So that's why you can go from one page to another page. But if you are going into IMDb page, that is a separate one. So obviously page has to refresh because it is outside your project. Okay. Now, sir, someone asked me, instead of Axios, can we use it async await? Obviously you can use it. But again, I'm saying it. Axios and fetch are alternatives. Async await and the promises are alternative. You can use Axios and async await both in one function only. Okay. Yeah, it's up to you how you design the thing. And in future, I will show you tungsten query or Redux, where we will use fetch instead of more and more logic APIs. Okay. Now let's go here. These are the things we discussed, Ma. I hope till now you guys don't have any doubts, right? If anyone have any doubts, not only in these things, any doubts in this class you can ask, because this class completely will be theoretical, and this class I'm gonna explain you whatever we discussed everything again. Okay. So then we are gonna do some project from tomorrow onwards. Okay. Or if possible, I will show you one project for use use memo and use callback. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Hooks are the functions. Hooks are the functions created by, no, hooks are the functions implemented in React 16.8 version by version. Okay. These hooks, these hooks can replace lifecycle methods, lifecycle methods, and can make programs, can make programs more optimized, optimized, optimized. Okay. Sir, here, if you see callback functions, you all remembered callback functions. In callback functions, you will have so many callback functions like should render or use, we have something called component did mount, component did unmount, component did update, right? Those kind of callback functions, can I use it in functional components? No. Functional components, functional components are basically stateless and cannot have cannot have life cycle methods, life cycle methods. So we use hooks, we use hooks to bring state and life cycle methods into functional components. Modern structure, we will use always functional components only. So in functional component, state cannot be used. So they invented one thing called use state, and the use state we are using it, right? Same way, we can't do something called use for example, in function in life cycle method, there is one thing called component did update. Component did update. What does that mean? Every time a component updated, it will call that, right? In class components, there is one thing called component did mount. What is the component did mount use? First time whenever the component mounted, this function automatically will get called, right or not? Same way, component did update. Component did update. What is the use of component did update? Every time automatically, anytime a component get updated, it will state updated, it will call that. So these two are like, one is mounting stage, one is updating stage, but they automatically get called. But use effect will replace both of them. Use effect is like whenever you mount it, it will call that, right? First time if you put an empty brace, only on mounting stage it will call. Or if you put it any dependency, every time a component did update, it will call. So it's like the replacement. Every hook is actually a replacement of another lifecycle hook a method. Okay. There are some other ones which are having new things also. Okay. But what is the difference between a function and a hook? Sir, this is very important point. Every hook in React starts with use. Every hook in React starts with use. So how it will know the difference between a normal function and a hook? Use will be there. If I write it, I can create our own hooks also, custom hooks. I will show you. Custom hooks, like for example, if I created a custom method Prasad, it's a normal method. If I created use Prasad, it's a hook. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear, sir? Any doubts? Now, next one. Here, there are so many hooks. The basic hooks, you can use it here. Fundamental hooks are basically what you need to know. Use state. Use state is a fundamental, basic one. Use state and use effect. How the use state will work? Use state, it will take it some initial value. And now let me give you syntax. The syntax is use state will have something called const value comma function equals to use state initial value. Huh? Square brackets kada మర్చిపోయినా right. Any doubt, sir? No. Next one. Next one. Use effects. What is the use of use state, sir? Okay, please explain fourth point. See, someone asked this fourth point. Again, I'm explaining it. Use effect is nothing but combination. Like how the use effect will work. Use effect will automatically get called whenever a component started, right? And at the same time, every time the dependency values updated, use effect automatically get called, right or not? So that is what the component did mount and component did update two functions will do. Instead of using two callback method, two lifecycle methods, we can use a replacement method like that use effect. Actually, use effect will can do some other things also because it's a side effect logic. We have another one called use layout effect, which exactly do this. Actually, the exact replacement of this both is use layout effect. That also we will discuss. Now, what is the use of use effect? You all guys know what is use of use effect, right? Right? Okay, see, use state, I will tell you one anyway. Use state, if you go to interviews, they will ask you 100% yeah, Uxma. Okay. Use state is used to update the update the value, update the value and render the component and render the component, render the component. It is called state. State. Okay. Now next one. Use effect. Use effect. Use effect. Earlier I discussed this, but still I'm repeating it. Use effect is used to handle side effects. Use effect is used to handle the side effects. For the persons who did the projects daily assignments, they will understand it very easily. What is it mean by side effect or use effect? If someone asks you what is side effect, sir, side effect means anything which does not affect UI directly. user interface, whatever, it's not affecting directly. For example, you click the button and a value is changing in the user interface. That is not a side effect. But you click the button, something is happening in the backend. You got my point? You click a button, some API call is happening. You click a button, some data is sending into back. You click a button, some data is coming from the back. Those things will not have direct impact on the UI. It will have an indirect impact, right? Those kind of things are side effects. So these side effects, how they will deal? You have actually two hooks. One is called use effect, one is called use layout effect. Okay. Now we are using use effect. What is use effect? And what's the difference we will do later, don't worry. Use effect. Use effect syntax is it will take it one callback function, comma, it will take it here dependencies. Dependencies. If no dependency array, if there is no dependencies array, then what will happen? Then use effect will get triggered. Use effect will get triggered for every state change. Sir, when I explained you use effect, I explained this. Every time a state changes, automatically use effect will be called. The callback function will be called every time a state changes. Right? For example, in your program, sir, here you write it two buttons. One is for +1, something a counter logic. Another is also another logic. Another say, okay, if I click on this, plus something state value changes. Okay. If I click on this, some other logic will change, some other value. Okay, something ABCD is changing it. Okay, two values are there. Here counter value is there. If I click on this 0, 1, 2, 3, it will increase. If I click on this, here ABCD will come. Okay. These are two state changes. But here, if I write in use effector, and if I did not put it this empty array, any array, if I did not put it anything, then if I click on this, automatically one state change is changing na. One state change also component re-render na. Every time component re-render, automatically this callback function will be called. If there is no dependency, if there is no dependency. Or, sir, if I put it here empty dependency, if I put here empty dependency, empty array, then what it will be do? It will call only one time. Every time state changes, it will not get called. Every time state changes, it will not get called. Or if I put it two values, if I put it two values, like any dependency, only if dependency changes, it will get called. Only if dependency changes, it will get called. So let me show it to you here now. npm create now cd projects. Npm create with @latest. When someone asks you hooks, you should explain it nicely because hooks is the basic one, sir. Hooks. CD hooks. Npm install. Online also everyone, please practice my daily. If is there anyone who did not know basic one also like state and effect, try it. At least now also try it. Now npm run dev, it will open it automatically like this one. Come here, go to hooks, go here src, go here app, RAFCE. Now inside this, let's do state. Let's implement everything here. Import use state. Now here, I will write it a basic logic, sir, inside this. Const count, comma, set count equals to use state and here 0. Now here I'm gonna write it a basic logic here. Paragraph count, which is a count logic, and uh, here button increment. First we'll see use state in detail. Okay, I'm 100% sure so many have some doubts with the use state, and I will show you what can be your problems. Okay, let's see your answer also. Like, for example, if I write it here on click, sir, on click, and here I write it handle count, one simple method, and here I'm writing it handle count method, const handle count equals to an arrow function. Now inside this, and I'm writing it here, set count, count plus 1, console dot log count. Now, sir, if I go here, can anyone tell me? Now let me refresh this. See the code, sir. Initially, what is count value? Ah, very good. Now, if I write it here, button, if I click on increment button, what it will show on the console? What it will show on the console? See, 1 or 0. Raise your hand if you are 0. 0 or right. Why? Sir, set function, I told you, state is a asynchronous logic. State is a asynchronous logic. So whenever it comes, so what do you think is, sir, initially 0, sir, when you click on this, it will come here, it will update the state value to 1 and then it will come. No, because it will take time. State value is always taking time. It's an asynchronous function. So immediately what will happen? It will go to the next one. JavaScript will not wait for asynchronous functions. It will automatically run the next one. So it will run the console.log first. First it will run console.log and then it will run the set log, even though you write it in reverse. Is it clear? If you want it, like, you can see it here. See here, count value 0. And this is the first question, like most people don't understand it in interviews. Now, if I go here, okay. So if I click on increment, what it is printing? Now, now count value is 1. Now, if you click on increment, what we expect, 1 will become 2 and print 2. No, it will print 1 first. Because first it is running this line. First it is running this line. Then it is running the state logic. Is it clear, ma? Any doubt, sir? No. Now go to the another logic, another example. Now, see, let's see how many of you people will answer it correctly. Set count, count plus 1. Abhi bolo. Like, what value I will get it if I uh, click on a button increment? Forget about console. Console will show anyway 0 only. That is not a big deal. Will the counter value will become 2 or will the counter value will become 1 only? I put set count 2 times, na? Huh? I put set count 2 times. Now, can I increment the count value directly 2 like that? Why? Why? Obviously, 1 is right. If I go here, see. Refresh it. Now nothing is there. If I click on this, see, only one happened. But you called two times, na sir. First time it should take it count value one and then right, because these are asynchronous functions. You know what it will do? It will take it here count value 0, and it will take it here also count value 0 only. For this particular function, count value will come only one time. That is from the top. Okay. So both values it is taking it 1 and it will update it to 1 only. Sir, how do I make it? How do I correct it? So that's why if you see somewhere programming, what they will do, they will write it here something like this, where they will say preview count plus 1. Like if you see someone's program, I told you every day, see the others programming. Did you guys ever see this? When you see, because you guys are not seeing the other programmings. You guys are just listening to my classes only. No, I am saying it to you. Go out, see someone's code, understand it. That is where you will become the bigger programmer. If you just listen to the concepts and doing it chota projects, never it will make it. Okay. Now here, if I do this, so what this prev count will bring it the count value which is updated recently. Instead of bringing it from the use state, it will bring it from the previous value. So here you can write it anything. I write it prev count. Okay. Now here, if I write it here, prev, prev plus one, whatever it is, you write it. It does not matter. The prev will become the count. Okay. So like the pre-increment, no, in Java, pre-increment and post-increment are kind of different. This is not how it works. Okay, this is works it like always asynchronous functions means they will run one time only. It's like bunched up. Now go here. Let me refresh it once. Now go here. If I click on this now what is happening? Two. Is it clear, sir? These are different scenarios in the state logic. You should remember the state. Okay. Any doubt, sir? No, very good. Now let's go here. Let's write it in another hook. Use effect. Use effect. And I'm calling it here something. And I'm writing it here console.log. Use effect called. A simple logic. Use effect called. And did I give it any dependency here? No. What if I did not give any dependency, sir? Here I will take it and another counter also. Console.log count to initial value, count to, set count to, and here I will print it, paragraph count to, just to show you I'm doing it, count to, and I will put in a button to, and here I will write it like on click, preview, set count to, preview plus one, plus two. Every time it will update two to two. Now go here, refresh it. Sir, by default, use effect will be called first time. So that is like component did mount. This is like component did mount, right or not? Component did mount, sir. Now, if I click on this increment 2, use effect is calling. If I click on increment, use effect is calling. If I click on this, use effect is calling, use effect is calling. See? Any doubt, sir? No? Use effect is getting called every time, sir. Now here, why it is not doing it? Now here, okay, what is preview? This is problem now. See, initially use effect will be called, but if I click on this state change or if I this state change, every time it will call. So any state changes, automatically use effect will be called if no dependencies. If no dependencies. Sir, if I give empty dependency here, I will go and give it here empty dependencies. Empty dependencies. Then what will happen? Only one time. First time only. See, second time onwards, is use effect is coming? Is use effect is coming? No. That's why we will use this logic for API calling. Whenever you do API calls, fetching and all, you use effect with empty brace. Why? Because it will be called only first time. Any doubt, sir? No. Or if I give it here, count 2 in the dependency, count 2. Then what will happen? Only if count 2 is changed. If only if count 2 state changes, only if count 2 state changes, then use effect will be called. Is it clear, sir? Now go here, go here. Now here, count 2 state changes, use effect is getting called. If I click on increment, use effect is called? No. So that is basically the use effect logic where it will take it. If no dependency array, use effect will be triggered every state change. If empty dependency, empty dependencies array, okay, then use effect will be triggered. Use effect will be triggered, will get triggered for only one time, which is mounting stage. Mounting. Mounting means starting. If any dependencies, if any dependencies, then use effect will be triggered. Use effect will get triggered, triggered for every state change of that dependency. Every state change of that dependency. Okay. See, page load is happening. It like use effect is happening 2 times because React dot strict mode is there. If the React dot strict mode is not there, then 2 times will not happen. It now see here if the strict mode is not there. Now see use effect is called only one time when the page load. Okay, is it clear, ma? Yeah. Now next one, third one, which is where third one important. Now use effect, use state. What we discussed more, use context. Context. Use context. Use context. Context works as a consumer for content provider. That means somewhere you will provide some content, sir, and if you want that particular content, you will write use context. You will write use context. And if you write it to the use context with a context provider, then automatically you will get that one, sir. Okay. Now how you will do it, sir, here? Okay. Sir, unmount concept means like when you are going from one component to another component, it will automatically work. Okay. So we are not writing class components, so that's why we are not showing unmount. But in hooks also I will show you. Okay. Now use context. How it will work, where is context API code? I think we did context API demo. I will show you here. See, sir, in the context API code which I write it, this is the main, and in the main it will go to app. Now see here, sir, in the main I created one thing called create context. What is that? Create context. What is the name of create context? Main context. Remember that. You can put any name. And I just exported there. Now go to app. Now in the app, sir, in the app, I imported the main context, and then I provided the main context provider with some value. With some value. This value can be anything. This value can be anything. Now I gave this value to component. So component, everything in the component can take this value. Component inside the component one is there. Inside the component one, component two is there. So component two wants to use what I gave, what I provide using main context. I provide some value using main context, and component two wants to use it. And if the component two wants to use it, component two is called as consumer. Okay. The one which provides app is called provider. We write it main context dot provider now. Earlier, what we used to write in class components, we used to write it like main context dot consumer consumer. But here the replacement of consumer logic is use context. If you write it here use context and main whatever the context name, and automatically you can able to get the value, and that you can use it. Okay. It's like, see, use main context API is like a box, a global box where you will put the values. If anyone wants a particular thing, they will come to that box. Imagine the box is locked, and whoever comes and take it, that they need a key. The use context will provide you the key, a key to open it and bring it whatever you want. Is it clear, sir? That is called the consumer logic. Huh? Sir, you can actually in this single state value, you can actually give here multiple values also. Where is this here? Here you can provide multiple values also. Here I am providing only one value. You can even provide a object. If you want to provide multiple values, what you can do? Here you can take multiple values. You can create an obj, and here you can write it a multiple values, count and all the multiple values. And whatever the values are updated, those values you can write it here. Or you can send everything through an array. Now here, value can be an array. Now inside the array, you pass so many things. I passed count. You pass what? How many values you like it? You got my point now? Any doubt, sir? No? Okay. Yeah. Inside the counter, I'm not getting it where you want it online. At initialization. Okay, here you can't give multiple values. Use state has to be any one value only, either number or something string, or if you wanted to give multiple values, give it as array. But array is one item only, to say it truly. That whole array will be given to count. Okay. But you cannot write it like 0, comma 1. No. Initially value kya hai? Initially only one value. Okay. Is it clear, ma? Now, anyway, so the context API is this. Now, let me write it. Use context works as a consumer for content provider. Syntax is use context, and here context name, whatever the main context or something you will create it now, that context name. Okay. Equals to const values, whatever the values you are getting it from the context, then you will get it the values, sir. Okay. In context API, We provide global values, global values by context dot provider, context name dot provider values, and we retrieve the values by use context. Sir, these all are the things we already discussed, ma. Okay. Now, the fourth one we discussed is use ref. I hope you all remembered. Okay. So there are actually so many hooks are there. We are going to discuss the top 10. Okay. Yeah. Now, use ref. Use ref is used for reference. Mainly this is used for DOM manipulation. DOM manipulation. Sir, automatically the value will be manipulated in the DOM, sir. You want one value to be manipulated in the DOM. You all seen it in the forms. How do you did the forms? Uh, for example, for example, const inp equals to use ref, use ref, and input type equals to text, comma ref equals to use ref inp. The above codes, the above codes, okay. In the above code, what will happen is in the above code, whenever user enters some value in input, automatically, automatically, DOM updates, DOM updates that value into INP. So you can remove the state. You can remove the state. You don't need to use the state now. Usually, how you will do, you will write it like on click or on change state value. You will only make it update. But without updating in the state, automatically the INP value will always be updated. Okay. And this can be, I think we already seen it how to do, right? In the forms. This is called this type of components. This type of components are called uncontrolled components. What are they? Uncontrolled components. I think the contact form which I did is also uncontrolled component only. Okay. Controlled component means it will have a state logic. Is it clear, ma? Now here, I think I already did it. Where did I did the controlled uncontrolled code? Controlled form. See, sir, if I did it one controlled form, what I will do? Automatically, whenever user submitting it on change, I will call one method. In that method, I will update that input value. I will take that input value, I will update it using state logic, right? Because I am only updating it. But if I have to create the same thing using uncontrolled one, I don't need to do that all. What I will do is uh, uncontrolled use ref, go here and here. The same thing what I'm doing. This time see the form, how much simple the form became. I'm writing input type equals to text and I'm using something user ref. The initial value user ref. You can give initial value also if you want. Okay. I'm not giving anything. It doesn't matter. But here, whatever the value is there, user ref. Now, if I write it here, something in this input box, if I write it Raj, automatically user ref value will become Raj. You don't need to write it on change method, on input method, on click method kind of thing, and updating set state input value and all. Okay. Who is updating these things? DOM is updating these things. Okay. In browser, DOM is updating. But we are not having any control over it, right or not? You got my point, ma? We are not having any. That's why these are called uncontrolled components. Uncontrolled components. No. Okay. Till now, any doubts, sir? Just have a revision with use navigate and use params also. Use params also. Start working on your portfolio projects and just check it. Use navigate and use params also. These 6 hooks we discussed till now. Tomorrow we'll discuss use memo, use callback, or use layout effects, and our own hook like use Prasad or something I will create. Okay. So that makes it hooks good. Okay. Online, is it clear, ma? Online, is it clear till now? Online, is it clear? Any doubts? If any doubts, please let me know, ma. Yeah. Offline, any doubts, sir? I'm going to push the complete code into GitHub. You can check it. Git add dot. Just try one project, ma. See, everyone, for use state, we did counter project. For use as effect, we did it some API project. For use context, we did context API project. For use ref, we did uncontrolled form project. Okay. For use navigate and use params, we did routing project. We did it for everything one project. You try to see the code and do it on your own, the same project, or change it something better. Then automatically you will remember it. If I explain you 1,000 times also, you may forget. But if you do one project, you will never forget. Okay. Yeah. That's it for today. Thank you all.